some of you may know, 30% or 33% of the land in Latin America is owned by ethnic communities under collective titling. This is the case in Colombia. 30% of ethnic communities have collective titles. Here, I'm going to show you the process of the collective titling of Afro-Colombian communities, which are ethnic communities, but not indigenous communities, which is different from the rest of Latin America. The idea of this law was basically to benefit groups that historically occupied these territories, to preserve, of course, valuable ecosystems. And the way to do so was to organize the communities as community councils, which is the political and territorial organizations. There are some huge community councils of theirs, there are some small community councils. And today we have almost 6 million of hectares, which is 5% of the country, under 170 community councils. Basically, what we found is that collective land titling create a more secure property right base and a longer time horizon that allows households to actually invest in physical and human capital. Let me focus here on the region, on the expansion of illicit crops. As you may know, Colombia is the most important supplier of cocaine for Europe and the US. And in 2017, we reached a peak in coca crops. 38% of these coca crops is located in the Pacific region. And in fact, 16% of all the coca crops that are in the country are located in these community councils that receive collective titling. Still, some communities do not have the presence of illicit crops. And we were wondering why. Collective titles by itself has not been able to stop the pressure of illegal activities, which in many cases actually is accompanied by armed groups. So the formalization of the title in the absence of the monopoly of the force of the states, they are very vulnerable. But we have documented a lot of community resistance. Of course, it's a resistance that the communities are assuming a lot of risk in the absence of the state. We are studying this community resistance and the collective action against the expansion of illicit economies, something that is beyond the titling process. Jurumangui, this community council, has been one of the examples of resistance. Not because it's illegal, they also have resisted to legal activities such as African palm plantations that are violent to the communities. They have this idea of collective leaderships, which they have a sort of a school of leadership that they have been trained a lot of inhabitants to be leaders. They have done, for example, a lot of manual eradication. They have done also what they call mingas or collective action to prevent the entrance of illegal miners. So this is the example of this community who has been doing this resistance. I think it's an opportunity to reorient this type of policies on the ground and invest in the organizational capacity of communities and the strength of local leadership, who apparently is the only thing that is preventing the expansion of these illicit economies.